Good morning. This is actually like a low podium. This is so exciting. I don't have to play with things. So I want to welcome everybody today to Transforming Workplace Culture, our 2015 Gender Equality Principles Practices Summit. So before we begin, I want to share a little bit about how we got to today's event. So in 1995, some of my sister San Francisco commissioners from Commission on Status of Women attended the Fourth World Conference on Women in Beijing. And they came back talking about CEDAW, and now you all know what CEDAW is, but it was kind of, what, CEDAW, what's that? And it's the United Nations International Human Rights Treaty to eliminate discrimination against women. So it was signed by President Jimmy Carter in 1979, and to date, the Senate has not ratified it. Now, you might think, oh, well, I'm sure very few countries have ratified it. In fact, 186 out of 194 UN member nations have signed it. So we are presently in the company of, anybody want to guess? Iraq. No, Iraq has signed. Iran, Somalia, South Sudan, and I really don't get these two. Palau and Tonga. They're very lovely nations, but they're young, so, you know. Well, so we couldn't get the Senate to ratify it, but that's never stopped San Franciscans. So we just said, we'll just pass it here. So we did draft a local ordinance that reflects the human rights principles of CEDAW. Board of Supervisors enacted it. And so for the next 10 years, we used our CEDAW ordinance to primarily look at city operations. Are we achieving gender equity, and primarily focusing on budgeting, employment, and the way in which we deliver services, the way we provide services to our residents. But back when we were crafting the ordinance, we knew that one day we'd want to look at the private sector, because obviously that's where the vast majority of people are employed. Now, you know, in San Francisco, we love to impose our San Francisco values on you businesses by passing laws. If we don't do it by laws, we get you through our contracts. But the Department on the Status of Women had this kind of novel idea. What if we tried a partnership? We'll take government, and we'll take the private sector and nonprofit and academic think tanks, and we'll all kind of work together to see what we can do to affect gender equity in the private sector. And so that was the beginning of our Gender Equality Principles Initiative, and it's been mentioned before, we're guided by the Gender Equality Council, and these are just volunteers from private companies, nonprofits, academic sectors, and we could not have done this project at all without these people. And I just want people to stand up, because I know this is a really smart group, but these people are really, really smart, so you should definitely talk to them. Jeffrey Thompson, I don't know, Anu Menon, Cicely Joseph, Nani Allwood, I know I saw Nani, there's Nani. Patricia Bovin, is Patricia here? I think she was planning. And then Deb Campbell. Yep, Deb's here. So, yeah, these are really smart people. You should talk to them. So what did the council do? We started out developing the 7 principles of equality, and you're going to learn more about these as we go through the practices. But one thing you should know is these were pretty landmark, and so landmark, in fact, the United Nations has a Women's Empowerment Compact, and they basically took our principles, and we said that was okay. And now they have an international effort with private sector companies advancing women based on the work that we did here in San Francisco. So we feel kind of good about that. We also have developed a gender equality assessment tool, and this is free online on our website, although I will say only the most daring of companies have tried it. This is actually a way where you can sit down with a number of people in your company, probably you want HR, a couple different people, and you can actually measure with benchmarks how you're doing in the gender equality world. And there's a lot of resources on best practices and so forth that can help you if you find there's areas you want to move forward on. So I really encourage people to check the website. In the past, we've also hosted quarterly roundtables for private and nonprofit sector communities on work-life balance, mentorship and sponsorships, supply chains and marketing. So there's a lot of opportunity there to work together. But today we're here to really celebrate some innovative practices that Bay Area companies have developed to really move toward more gender equity throughout their entire operations. So, I want to say that, recent data about gender equality in the workplace has been not so terrific. I mean, there's certainly suggestion that progress has stalled, if not reversed. So I really want to thank the companies here for coming here today, sharing their practices, and really trying to move things forward in a climate where it's not always so easy to do so. So I hope everyone here today will be inspired, and maybe you'll learn something from another company that you can take back and apply to your company. So I hope you have a good time today. I hope you learn and enjoy and meet fun people, and enjoy the refreshments. And I want to thank you all so much for being here.